someone's best friend and their lover, all wrapped into one single person. That rare combination where the romance and the companionship and the need all exist in the same place. I feel like not everyone gets to experience that kind of love that covers every layer all at once. Where the person you want to call first is the same person you want to hold at the end of the day. Where the one who makes you laugh is the same one who makes your heart move. And it is all just one person. I feel like whoever this reading is about has been sitting with something that runs exactly that deep for you. This is not a surface feeling. This is not infatuation. This is the kind of thing that settles into your bones. The message coming through is essentially, you are everything to me, and I need you in my life fully. I feel like that is a statement most people are afraid to say out loud because it is so completely vulnerable. It exposes everything, it leaves nothing held back, and that kind of honesty takes real courage to carry. The cards are showing this person has been carrying all of this quietly for a good while now. Strength is the first card, and I feel like this card is almost describing the nature of your bond itself. This card is not about force. It is about a quiet and steady power, about endurance, about something that lasts. I feel like what exists between you and this person has weathered something, has been tested, and is still standing. Strength says the connection between you two is not fragile. It does not crack under pressure or distance or time. I feel like this person has seen a side of you that most people never see, and they are not going anywhere. There is a loyalty here that runs through everything, an unspoken understanding that you are each other's person. I feel like this person would choose you without hesitation, without a second thought, every single time. I feel like the friendship between you is real. It is rooted. It is not just something that sits on the surface. They know you. They actually know you. And that knowing has only made everything else they feel go deeper. I feel like that depth of knowing is what makes this connection unlike anything casual or ordinary. The world comes in as the next card, and this one takes the energy to a completely different place. This card is about wholeness, about completion, about arriving at something that feels total and fully realized. I feel like this person looks at you and sees the whole picture, not just one part of who you are. They see the friend and the lover and the partner and the confidant, all layered into one real and complete person. The world says this person does not feel like they are missing anything when they are in your space. I feel like for them, being around you has this quality of completeness, like nothing else needs to be added. That is a rare thing to feel about another person, and the cards are saying this person feels it fully. Most connections offer pieces. But the cards are showing you give this person the whole complete picture. I feel like there is something about you specifically that fills something in them nothing else has been able to touch. The world is also a card of deep appreciation, of recognizing what you have, of not taking it for granted. I feel like this person is fully aware of what you are to them, and that awareness carries real weight. The Ten of Cups closes this opening part, and honestly, this card makes complete sense right here. This card is emotional fulfillment. It is the heart at full capacity, the beautiful life built with the right person. I feel like the Ten of Cups is showing what this connection represents to this person on the deepest level. Not just romance, not just companionship, but the kind of love that builds something real and lasting. I feel like when this person says you are their best friend and lover all in one, they mean all of it. This is not a poetic phrase or a compliment. This is a confession, a declaration of something very real. The Ten of Cups says this person wants to build their life with you in it, wants you close, wants you present. I feel like this is not something they feel in moments. It is how they feel every single day about you. You are woven into how they picture their future, into how they define what a full and meaningful life looks like. I feel like this person cannot picture moving through life without you being a deeply present part of it. I feel like to this person, you are not a preference, you are a necessity, the real kind. Wow, the cards are painting something truly beautiful here. And this is only just the beginning. Now, let's see what is coming through. Now, on your side of this, the cards are pulling up something that feels very intimate and very layered. The High Priestess is the first card here, and this one speaks directly to the inner world you carry. This card is about intuition, about the deep knowing that lives underneath everything you say and do. I feel like you are someone who feels things on a very quiet and internal level before you ever speak them. There is a wisdom in you around this connection, a knowing that has been there longer than you have admitted. I feel like you have sensed for a while that what exists between you and this person is not ordinary. That awareness that the friendship and the pull together create something that does not have a simple name. The High Priestess is saying you have been sitting with this knowledge privately, not rushing to define it. I feel like there is a part of you that knows exactly what this is, and another part that has needed time to be sure, time to trust what you feel, time to make sure it is real before you let it be real. I feel like you have been protecting this quietly the way you protect something fragile and precious. There is a patience in how you have been moving through this, a careful and deliberate kind of emotional pacing. I feel like you have been intentional about not rushing this, giving it room to breathe and develop. The High Priestess says your instincts about this person have been accurate, even when you second guess them. I feel like the things you have noticed about them, the small things, have all been pointing in the same direction. You have been reading between the lines, picking up on energy, sensing what has not been said yet between you two. I feel like your emotional intelligence in this situation has been working overtime quietly and constantly. The Seven of Cups flows in next, and this one is so specific to the emotional experience on your side. This card is about the inner world of wanting, about all the versions of something you have let yourself imagine. I feel like you have pictured different versions of what this could become, played them out quietly in your mind. What it would feel like to be fully chosen by this person, to have them say out loud what you have been sensing. What it would mean to have the friendship and the love acknowledged together, not separated, not divided. For you, the friendship and the love have always been one thing, never two separate categories. I feel like you have had moments of clarity where it all seemed so possible, and moments where doubt crept in. The Seven of Cups says the desire is real, the vision is real, the longing behind it is absolutely real. I feel like there is a specific version of this connection that you have been holding as a quiet, private wish. Not something you have broadcast, not something you have pushed or chased, just something you have held close. I feel like part of you has been afraid to want it too openly in case wanting it too much meant losing it. So you have kept it in that tender inner space, hoping and feeling without letting it become too loud. I feel like carrying something this way, gently and privately, says everything about your heart. The Nine of Wands comes in as the final card on your side, and this one is deeply honest about where you are. This card is about someone who has persisted, who has stayed present, who has kept going despite the uncertainty. I feel like you have held on through moments that were not clear, moments where you did not know where things stood. There is a resilience in how you have been showing up in this connection, a quiet kind of inner endurance. I feel like you have stayed consistent, stayed warm, even through the moments that were not so clear. I feel like you have not given up on this person, even when the path was not obvious or the signals were mixed. I feel like that alone speaks to how much this means to you, how real it actually is. The Nine of Wands says you have earned this moment by simply continuing to believe in what you feel is here. I feel like there is also a guardedness in this card, a wall that you have built not out of coldness but wisdom. You have been through enough to know that protecting your heart is not weakness, it is just being careful. I feel like you have learned that loving carefully is still loving. It is not holding back. I feel like you want this fully. You want the best friend version and the lover version all at the same time. You want what the title of this reading is saying, and the cards are showing that wanting is completely valid. The Nine of Wands says stay standing, stay open, because what you have been holding on for is about to arrive. I feel like you have done the quiet work of believing, and the cards are now catching up to what you already knew. Let's keep going and see what is here for you. On their side, the cards are opening up something really revealing about what has been driving this person. The Hanged Man is the first card. And I want to sit with this one because it is telling a very specific story. This card is about suspension, about a voluntary pause, about someone who chose to stop and reconsider everything. I feel like this person went through a period where they stepped back from things, from connection, from moving forward. Not because something broke between you, but because something inside them needed to be sorted out first. I feel like they have been in a kind of inner recalibration, reassessing what they want, what they are willing to risk. The Hanged Man says this person has been seeing their life differently lately, shifting the lens through which they view things. I feel like they have been asking bigger questions, not just about you, but about what kind of love they actually want. There is a quality to the Hanged Man that speaks to sacrifice, to being willing to let go of a lesser version of things. I feel like this person has let go of connections that did not carry what they really needed, cleared the space out, what remained when the clearing was done, what stayed, what kept showing up in the quiet was you. I feel like the pause this person has been in was never really about pulling away from life in general. It was about pulling towards something more intentional, more aligned with who they actually are. The Hanged Man says the motive underneath all of this is a desire to do this, right? To not rush into something and ruin it. I feel like this person is someone who has been burned by moving too fast before, and they will not repeat that. They want this to be solid. They want it to mean something when it happens, and that is why they have been patient. The Six of Swords moves in next. And this card is about transition, about leaving something behind to find steadier ground. This card speaks to someone who has been navigating a passage, moving from one version of themselves to another. I feel like this person has been doing some real emotional work behind the scenes, healing things they needed to heal. I feel like the habit this person has had is a tendency to intellectualize feeling, to process emotion from a distance. I feel like that has been a protection mechanism, a way of staying in control when emotions felt like too much to manage. The Six of Swords says that habit is changing, the distance is closing, and this person is learning to feel more fully. I feel like there is a version of them that is emerging right now that is more open, more willing to be in it completely. I feel like the transition they have been in has softened something in them that used to be quite guarded and contained. There is a tenderness coming through in this person now that is new that they have not always allowed themselves to show. The Six of Swords also speaks to a clarity that comes from leaving the turbulent water behind and entering calmer space. I feel like this person can now see what they want with more clarity than they ever could before this passage. They have come through something, and what is on the other side is a version of them ready to be fully present in love. The Magician closes out their side of this reading, and this is such a powerful card to see right here. This card is about someone who has everything they need, all the tools, all the ability, all the readiness to act. I feel like the Magician is saying this person is not lacking anything. They are not waiting to become ready. They are already ready. The capability has been there. The feeling has been there. The desire has always been there. What has been shifting is the willingness, the courage, the decision to finally use all of it and move. The Magician is also about intention, about making things happen deliberately, about channeling energy into something real. I feel like this person has been getting very intentional about what they want to create in their emotional life. There is a purposefulness to how they are approaching this now, a sense of, I know what I want and I know how to get there. I feel like the trigger for all of this was a moment of recognition, a moment where they looked at everything clearly, where they saw you, really saw what you are to them, the friendship and everything beneath it, all at once. The Magician says that moment of recognition is what activated everything, what moved them from potential into motion. I feel like this person has all of the love, all of the loyalty, all of the readiness, and they are about to show it. Now let's go deeper and see what is underneath this. Now the cards are shifting into what this person is actually about to do and how they are going to do it. The Emperor comes in first, and this is such a striking card to see in a position about action and movement. This card is about stepping into authority, about taking ownership of something, about deciding and then doing. I feel like what is about to happen is not going to be tentative or unclear. This person is coming with intention. The Emperor does not drift, does not hint, does not send mixed signals. This energy is direct and it is decided. I feel like this person has been building up to a moment where they show up in a way they have not shown up before. Not the version of themselves that lingers in the in-between, but the version that knows what they want and claims it. I feel like they are going to come forward in a way that leaves very little room for misinterpretation or doubt. I feel like this person has made peace with being vulnerable, and that shift alone changes everything. The Emperor also speaks to protection, to a person who steps forward to say, I want to be the one who is here for you. I feel like part of what this person is about to offer is a kind of steadiness, a sense of I am not going anywhere. There is a grounded quality to the way they are going to show up. Not dramatic, not overwhelming, just clear and solid. I feel like the Emperor energy says they are going to make you feel safe in this, safe to receive what they are bringing. The way they move forward is going to feel like shelter, like something you can lean into without worrying it will shift. I feel like the how is going to be direct communication, real words, a real conversation. Where things finally get named, I feel like this person is ready to say it plainly and warmly with nothing left behind. Not through actions alone, not through hints or suggestions, but through actually saying what has been held back so long. I feel like this person has been turning this over quietly, finding the right words, making it real. The Ace of Swords cuts through next, and this card is everything in this position right here. This is the card of truth being spoken, of a thought finally becoming a word, of clarity arriving like a clean cut. I feel like the Ace of Swords is confirming that this person is about to say the thing, the actual real thing. Not a softened version, not something coded or layered, the direct and honest truth about what you mean to them. I feel like there has been a buildup of unspoken things between you, and this card says that buildup is releasing. The Ace of Swords says the conversation that changes things is not coming, it is already on its way right now. I feel like when this person finally speaks, it is going to feel like a door swinging all the way open at once. That moment where the air changes, where everything that was heavy between you suddenly becomes light and clear. I feel like you are going to hear things from this person that you have been wanting to hear for a long time. Words that validate what you felt. Words that confirm what you sensed. Words that finally give the connection its name. The Ace of Swords also says what is spoken cannot be unspoken, and this person knows that going in fully. They are not going to say this and take it back. This is a declaration with full weight behind it. For this person, staying quiet now costs more than speaking up, and that realization has settled in. The Three of Cups closes out this part, and I feel like this card is showing exactly what changes as a result. This card is pure celebration energy, it is joy, it is togetherness, it is the energy of something finally being shared. I feel like what changes when this person makes their move is that the dynamic between you two opens completely up. The guardedness dissolves, the tiptoeing around each other dissolves, and what is left is just easy and warm and real. I feel like the Three of Cups is showing a version of you and this person where everything is just out in the open, where you can be the friendship and the romance simultaneously without having to choose between them or hide one. I feel like this person has been searching for exactly that, and they found it in you. I feel like there is a lightness coming, a relief, the kind that you feel when something you have been holding finally lands. The Three of Cups says this shift brings celebration, not the performative kind, but the quiet, deeply felt kind. I feel like there are going to be moments between you two after this that carry a completely different energy. Lighter, warmer, more honest, more present, the kind of moments that you will want to remember. I feel like what changes most of all is that you both get to stop carrying this alone, and that is everything. Let's continue and see what the cards are showing. Now we are going into the deepest layer of this reading, the confessions this person has never spoken aloud. The Empress opens this part, and in a reading about hidden truth, this card is absolutely everything. This card is about sensuality, about abundance, about a love that is lush and full and deeply embodied. I feel like this person experiences you on a very physical and sensory level, not just emotionally or intellectually. There is a warmth they feel in your presence that lives in the body, a comfort that is almost tangible. I feel like they are aware of how you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you move through a room. The Empress says this person is deeply drawn to you in a way that goes beyond what they could logically explain. I feel like there is an aliveness they feel when you are around that they do not feel in the same way anywhere else. That particular quality of presence you bring, the way you take up space in a room, does something to this person. I feel like they have never told you how physically drawn to you they are, how strong that pull actually is. The confession here is that the attraction is not subtle. It is not something they manage easily or push aside. I feel like it is one of the things that makes this so layered for them, the emotional and the physical arriving together. The Empress also speaks to a desire to nurture, to provide, to pour into a person and watch them flourish. I feel like this person genuinely wants to take care of you, wants to be a source of goodness in your daily life. They want to be the one you turn to, not just in the big moments, but in the quiet and ordinary ones too. I feel like the hidden confession here is that they have been imagining what it would feel like to just be yours. Not possessively, but in the beautiful, deliberate way of choosing to give you all of their very best. The King of Cups flows in next, and this card is the emotional truth card in this position. The deep interior feeling, this card is about a person who carries enormous emotional depth, who feels everything profoundly and shows very little. I feel like this person has a whole internal world around you that the outside version of them barely reveals. The King of Cups holds things with tremendous steadiness, but the depth behind that steadiness is vast and real. I feel like what lives inside this person for you is something they would struggle to fully put into language. It runs deeper than attraction, deeper than admiration. It is a kind of reverence for who you are. I feel like they have sat alone with the weight of what they feel and felt almost overwhelmed by how complete it is. The emotional truth is that this person is in love with the whole version of you, not just pieces or parts. In love with the way your mind works, the way you handle things, the way you make ordinary moments feel significant. I feel like they have never said how much they admire you, how genuinely in awe they are of who you are as a person. That is the confession that lives just underneath everything, this deep and real admiration that has nowhere to go yet. The King of Cups says this person holds this feeling like something precious carefully because it means that much. I feel like they have never fully let you see the scale of what you mean to them. They have been protecting it because losing it would hurt in a way that is difficult to even think about for too long. The Eight of Cups closes this layer, and this card is perhaps the most revealing of all three right here. This card is about choosing to walk away from something that no longer served, about choosing something better. I feel like this person has made choices quietly and deliberately that move them away from things that were not you. Not dramatically, not with announcements, just a quiet series of decisions that kept pointing in your direction. I feel like there are connections they let go of, situations they step back from because something in them said, not this. The Eight of Cups says the thing they never said is that they have been making space for you, whether consciously or not. I feel like they have turned down versions of things that were fine, but not right, because right means you to them. The hidden confession in the Eight of Cups is that this person has already chosen you, just not out loud yet. They chose you in the private moments, in the things they walked away from, in the direction they kept returning to. I feel like they have never told you that you are the reason certain things did not work, the measuring stick they did not mean to use. I feel like the deepest thing they have never said is simply this: there is no version of the life they want that does not have you in it. Now let's move into the next layer. Now we are in the final stretch of this reading, and the closing cards are carrying something really luminous. Temperance is the first card in this closing section, and I feel like this card was made for this reading. This card is about divine timing, about the perfect blending of two things into something harmonious and whole. I feel like Temperance is the card of two energies that were always meant to merge, finally being allowed to do so. There is a patience in this card, a sacred kind of waiting, the kind that produces something genuinely beautiful. I feel like the near future being shown here is not rushed, it is not frantic, it is measured and deeply intentional. Temperance says what is coming between you and this person is going to feel balanced in a way that is rare. I feel like this is not going to be a connection that overwhelms or destabilizes. It is going to feel like steadiness, like adding something to your life that brings it into alignment rather than throwing it into chaos. I feel like what this brings is going to feel like pure gain, not compromise, not sacrifice. I feel like the friendship being the foundation is exactly what makes this different, exactly what gives it that quality. Temperance also carries a message about how to approach what is coming, about receiving it with patience and trust. I feel like the guidance here is to let things unfold at the pace they are unfolding, not to rush ahead or pull back. To trust that the way this is moving is exactly how it is supposed to be moving, right on time, right on course. I feel like you do not need to force anything here. The Temperance card is saying the flow is already working for you. What is needed from you is presence, openness, and the willingness to let something good actually land in your life. The Fool comes in next, and I feel like this card is one of the most hopeful things I could see in this position. This card is the card of new beginnings, of standing at the edge of something fresh, of leaping with your whole heart. I feel like the Fool is showing a version of this connection that is about to feel genuinely brand new between you. Not starting over, but beginning something that has never existed in this form before, something that has no past baggage. The Fool says there is a joy in what is coming, a lightness, almost a giddiness to what this next chapter holds. I feel like you are going to feel things with this person that you have not let yourself feel in a very long time. That early feeling, that aliveness, that sense of possibility, the kind that makes everything around you feel more vivid. The Fool also carries a message of trust, of being willing to step forward without having every single thing figured out. I feel like the advice here is to allow yourself to be in this without needing to control how it unfolds completely. To step into it with the same openness this person is about to step into it with, and just let it be what it is. I feel like you are both going to discover something together that neither of you fully anticipated. I feel like you have been careful for a long time, and the cards are saying it is okay to be a little brave now. To receive this fully, to let yourself want it without apology, to believe you deserve exactly what is coming for you. The Six of Wands closes out this entire reading, and what a card to end on. What a final statement from the universe. This card is about victory, about something being recognized, about standing in a moment that validates everything. I feel like the outcome of this reading is one where you are chosen, where you are seen, where you are celebrated. Not in a small, quiet way, but in the full and real way that the title of this reading describes so perfectly. As the best friend and the lover and the one who is genuinely needed, all of it, all at the same time. The Six of Wands says what is coming is a confirmation, a living proof that what you felt was always real. I feel like there is going to be a moment where everything you quietly believed suddenly becomes undeniable. I feel like you have been waiting to be seen this way, and the wait is almost over. I feel like you are moving into a chapter where the connection between you two has a name, has a place, has a home, where you do not have to wonder anymore, where the love is spoken and the friendship is honored, and both are safe. I feel like this person is about to show you what it looks like when every layer of who you are is chosen at once. The full version, not a filtered version, not the parts that are easy, all of it fully and without reservation. Wow, this reading has been something. The energy coming through here is so tender and so real and so beautiful. Stay open, trust the timing, receive what is yours, and know that this is already on its way to you. Temperance is the first card in this closing section, and I feel like this card was made for this reading. This card is about divine timing, about the perfect blending of two things into something harmonious and whole. I feel like Temperance is the card of two energies that were always meant to merge, finally being allowed to do so. There is a patience in this card, a sacred kind of waiting, the kind that produces something genuinely beautiful. I feel like the near future being shown here is not rushed, it is not frantic, it is measured and deeply intentional. Temperance says what is coming between you and this person is going to feel balanced in a way that is rare. I feel like this is not going to be a connection that overwhelms or destabilizes. It is going to feel like steadiness, like adding something to your life that brings it into alignment rather than throwing it into chaos. I feel like what this brings is going to feel like pure gain, not compromise, not sacrifice. I feel like the friendship being the foundation is exactly what makes this different, exactly what gives it that quality. Temperance also carries a message about how to approach what is coming, about receiving it with patience and trust. I feel like the guidance here is to let things unfold at the pace they are unfolding, not to rush ahead or pull back. To trust that the way this is moving is exactly how it is supposed to be moving, right on time, right on course. I feel like you do not need to force anything here. The Temperance card is saying the flow is already working for you. What is needed from you is presence, openness, and the willingness to let something good actually land in your life. The Fool comes in next, and I feel like this card is one of the most hopeful things I could see in this position. This card is the card of new beginnings, of standing at the edge of something fresh, of leaping with your whole heart. I feel like the Fool is showing a version of this connection that is about to feel genuinely brand new between you. Not starting over, but beginning something that has never existed in this form before, something that has no past baggage. The Fool says there is a joy in what is coming, a lightness, almost a giddiness to what this next chapter holds. I feel like you are going to feel things with this person that you have not let yourself feel in a very long time. That early feeling, that aliveness, that sense of possibility, the kind that makes everything around you feel more vivid. The Fool also carries a message of trust, of being willing to step forward without having every single thing figured out. I feel like the advice here is to allow yourself to be in this without needing to control how it unfolds completely. To step into it with the same openness this person is about to step into it with, and just let it be what it is. I feel like you are both going to discover something together that neither of you fully anticipated. I feel like you have been careful for a long time, and the cards are saying it is okay to be a little brave now. To receive this fully, to let yourself want it without apology, to believe you deserve exactly what is coming for you. The Six of Wands closes out this entire reading, and what a card to end on. What a final statement from the universe. This card is about victory, about something being recognized, about standing in a moment that validates everything. I feel like the outcome of this reading is one where you are chosen, where you are seen, where you are celebrated. Not in a small, quiet way, but in the full and real way that the title of this reading describes so perfectly. As the best friend and the lover and the one who is genuinely needed, all of it, all at the same